Hey guys, MichaelBtheGameGenie here. Now in today's video, we're going to be talking about the unofficial Arcade1Up Time Crisis shooting cabinet that got revealed a couple weeks back thanks to the Gamefly leaks. Specifically, let's look at that price point and ask the question, could this be the very first Arcade1Up XL shooting cabinet? Speaking of XL cabinets, Arcade1Up NBA Jam Shaq Edition, or as we call it, Shaq Jam, is now available for pre-order here in Canada through the brick, so finally a retail option. Speaking of the brick as well, those sale prices that I revealed last week on a tip have finally come to fruition. We'll talk about all this right after this. That's right, guys, we got a ton of news to go through today, as well as a little bit of speculation that I've been dying to share with you. I'm a little gun shy to do too much speculation recently because I've kind of got that vibe of the boy who cried wolf. Like every time I mention something, everybody's like, sure, Mike, and Shaq's going to reveal NFL Blitz, and oh yes, Sinden guns are coming to the iArcade. I don't think anybody believes me anymore. Well, I'm not giving you guys any inside information. These are just predictions, and if you don't like that stuff, I'm sorry, but I can't help but question whether or not the upcoming Time Crisis cabinet from Arcade1Up could possibly be an XL cabinet. Now, if you guys like Arcade1Up and watch YouTube, you probably already know my good buddy 19K Fox, real name Robert Foxworth, real name Robert California. Now, he made an excellent video a couple days ago talking about now that Arcade1Up NBA Jam Shaq Edition, Shaq Jam, has come out, pre-order has been unveiled. What's the next cabinets that are going to come out that he's going to be interested in coming from Arcade1Up, related back to the old Gamefly leaks that we saw a couple weeks ago. Now, one of the things that stuck out to me as he provided his information and dates and price points was the price point for the Arcade1Up supposed Time Crisis cabinet. So looking at the list that Fox here managed to get his hands on, including release dates, the actual product, and the price points, you can see the Collectorcade has come to fruition, all the other games have come to fruition, and at the price point. As we head down, you'll notice the Marvel vs. Capcom 2, or Marvel vs. Capcom iArcade, we'll wait to see which one that is listed at $5.99, which we expect to be the new retail price for Arcade1Up cabinets in the US going forward. That's with no bells and whistles. Honestly, looking at this, I think the days of the value add-ons like stools, tin signs, and all that stuff, I think they've taken enough lashback from the community. We're probably not going to get that stuff anymore. Now you're just going to get your base unit of arcade, riser, light-up marquee for $5.99. That's what we're seeing here. This is the new base price. But if you head down beneath that, you'll see Arcade1Up Time Crisis Arcade, and my God, $7.99. That's a lot of cheddar. Yeah, $7.99 is a massive chunk of change, and it leads me to question, is this just the price going forward for shooters, or is this an upgraded price? What was the price before? Well, let's take a look. So if you guys remember, just last year, the Terminator 2 Judgment Day Arcade1Up cabinet came out. It was the second in the line of shooting cabinets from Arcade1Up using Sinden technologies. We got some definite upgrades from the first generation of shooter cabs with Big Buck. We got a light-up marquee here. We got an awesome cabinet design. You can see that there, as well as two Sinden guns, including force feedback now. And also the cabinet had the riser extenders, so it's a much taller cabinet. But the thing to keep in mind with all those added benefits and all the extra features, including the expensive movie licensing for Terminator, the cabinet was only $6.99. Now, it looks like overall cabinets haven't raised up in price significantly from last year compared to this year. Looking at the prices for NFL Blitz and Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Marvel vs. Capcom II. So the question is, why would the shooting cabinet be $100 more when I don't know if it has any more upgrades than the original Terminator 2? Yeah, so what is the extra $100 for compared to the old shooting cab? Of course, I have some initial theories, one of which is apparently Time Crisis is a game that requires like a foot pedal to duck or something like that. So maybe the inclusion of the pedal or the extra part equates to the price difference. But no, I'm thinking something a little bit differently on this. So if you guys look back on the feedback from the first two gun games from Arcade1Up to date, most of the critical feedback that has been relayed to the cabinet revolves around the size of the screen, with some people with the actual Arcade1Up Buck Hunter cabinet going out and replacing the screen with the Geekworm connector and putting in like widescreen monitors in the cabin, making it look absolutely ridiculous. I haven't seen that so far with the Terminator cabinet, but people are still complaining that the 17-inch screen is too small to play gun games on. So wouldn't it make perfect sense that you would get rid of the 17-inch screen and for shooting games going forward, move to an XL cabinet, and hence the extra $100 compared to the Terminator 2 price point to the new Time Crisis price point might be additional cost for changing to an XL cabinet. As you guys know, the price for XL cabinets in the United States right now is $699, $799. Coming in for a shooting cabinet would be an additional $100 over the standard XL price point. Is that enough to pay for the Sinden light gun technology? I'm not sure, but it certainly makes sense that this game could be an XL cabinet. Unfortunately, for the people who I'm getting their hopes way up on now, I apologize, because this could absolutely mean nothing. For me, this just seems like the most sensible thing in the entire world. But then again, this is Arcade1Up. Sometimes it's not always about being sensible. So I want to take you back to another YouTuber who has some inside information that may be relevant to the conversation that we're having here now. I gotta tell you guys, I really love how everything is just so connected in this community. As you can see here, here's our good buddy, 19K Fox, real name Robert California, sitting here with Twisted Chris, as they did the Twisted Takeover show together. Now, most of you might know Twisted Chris as a guy who did the Killer Instinct review earlier this year. That's because he's an expert in real arcade Killer Instinct, and he's also really good friends with John D from Arcade1Up, John Diamond. So, during his conversations with John D, Twisted Chris apparently got a piece of information that's very pertinent to this conversation. And it said that all the Arcade1Up Pro cabs, for the versions that are drivers or shooters, there will be an additional $200 increase in price. So, coming from the standard price, there will be $200 more for the Pro between the Pro and the Pro Shooter and Pro Driver model. Now, what does this mean for the conversation we're having? Well, unfortunately, I think that isn't just for the Pro model, and that may be the price point difference between a shooter and a driver and a regular standard cab going forward. So what does that mean for us? As we know, as you can see right here, the Arcade1Up NBA Jam Shaq Arcade, $699. An extra $200 would bring that price point up to $899. So going by that numbering equation, what Twisted Chris has provided us with the markup, there's a possibility that this cabinet is not an XL cabinet. However, if you take a look at the difference from the new standard pricing that we see for Blitz and Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Time Crisis Arcade fits that criteria for the $200 markup exactly. So unfortunately, guys, I may have wasted your time here talking about the possibility of it being an XL cabinet, and it may in fact just be the regular 3/4 scale at an egregious price of $799 US, which is ridiculous. Hopefully, I'm completely wrong about the last part, and it's not an across-the-board markup of $200 for drivers and shooters going forward. In fact, this is an XL cabinet, because one thing that I do know is that with these shooting cabinets across the board, the entire fan base want to see a bigger screen. And if there's one type of game that's crying out for a bigger screen, it's definitely shooters. So Arcade1Up, if you're listening, if you have any control or any plans, even if you can't make the cabinet an XL, maybe stick one of those 19-inch monitors in the cabinet. Your fan base will appreciate it, provided it's a new monitor. Those light stars aren't so good. Anyways, speaking of XL cabinets, and I'm kind of downplaying it before I throw it out there, Arcade1Up NBA Jam Shaq Edition Shaq Jam is now available for pre-order outside of direct through Arcade1Up.com, available at retail here in Canada through The Brick. So guys, if you head on over to the Brick right now, you can put your pre-order down for your NBA Jam Shaq Edition 4-player Wi-Fi enabled cabinet. Estimated pickup looks to be July 21st, 2022. So it looks like it's going to be a midsummer delivery. I know the website said some late June for ordering direct, but it looks like we're going to get it late July. Price here in Canada is the exact same as the Golden Tea cabinet, which is no surprise. I said this is assuming going to be the price, $899.95. But of course, thanks to this, we don't have to pay ridiculous shipping, duty. We just have to pay our normal taxes. You can go over and order your own NBA Jam Shaq Edition from the Brick now. I'll leave a link to the pre-order down in the description below if you want to pick it up. However, I do advise you before you do, maybe watch a couple videos on some feedback on the cabinet. I know Justin Console Kits did an excellent video the other day talking about the screen quality of these cabinets, and as you can see, even on the promo shots, there looks to be some significant ghosting on this new Lightstar screen that they have. So it's a beautiful cabinet. It's not 100% arcade accurate, as you can see from the display art here. There's definitely a new Shaq branding to it, and there's some ghosting, noticeable ghosting on the screen. But other than that, this looks like it's going to be a winner for Arcade1Up, and if you are interested, the Brick does have them on pre-order now, and you can avoid shipping and duty charges instead of getting it through Arcade1Up Direct. But guys, that's not all when we're talking about the Brick here in Canada, because we also have a massive blowout sale going on right now on some awesome Arcade1Up products through the Brick. Maybe some stuff that you've seen for a while, had your eye on, but we're waiting on a sale. I announced it last week. Those sales are finally up, so I'm going to show you them now again just to refresh your memory. So if you guys head on over to the Brick's website now, type in Arcade1Up in the search menu. Some of the items that they had on last chance are now on blowout sale. You can see right here, Big Blue Street Fighter 2 Arcade1Up, the Wi-Fi online enabled cabinet is down to $599, which is the standard sale price for Arcade1Up before the price hikes last year. That's an awesome price. This also comes with a stool, great cabinet. The one that I'm the most excited for because I don't have it and I'm really leaning towards picking one up is the Pong Pub Table, regular price $799, $300 off for $499.95. Man, I'm really questioning this. I know it's not a traditional arcade cabinet. I know it's completely different, but I need a pub table in my arcade, and it'd be cool if I could play games on it as well. And look how retro 70s this looks like. This is like the 70s came to life and is available for purchase again right now. Also, I forgot to mention, this is regular $769, so you're saving about $170 on this one as well. Moving down, we've got some head-to-head tables right here. You can see the Midway Classics head-to-head table. Of course, there's some great games on this. I'm not in love with the idea of playing Mortal Kombat head-to-head, but there's other stuff on here you can't get anywhere else, like Gorf and Sinistar. So definitely, if you're interested in Midway Classics, go check this out. This might have some games you're interested in. And then last but not least is the Marvel x Capcom head-to-head arcade cabinet. So you've got a bunch of those head-to-head fighting games. Unlike the Marvel stand-up cabinet, this does not have Wi-Fi, so no online option, but it does include the Punisher, which is one of the best arcade beat-em-ups of all time. Also, now new to the Brick, this is not a sale or anything, but the Babycades are here, and they're actually at a cheaper price than they previously were at Toys R Us. So the Babycades are available now for $249.99. I just had a baby. Maybe it's time I picked him up his first Pac-Man cabinet. Anyways, guys, that's everything for today. Let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts on the idea of Arcade1Up releasing Time Crisis shooting cabinet in the XL form factor, even if it's not in the XL form factor with a bigger screen? Is this something Arcade1Up definitely needs to do? Are the screens on the shooting cabinets a little bit too small, especially where the send and light gun technology requires you to stand so far back from the cabinet while playing? Let me know in the comments if you think that's why we have the $799 price point, or is it just an egregious price that's the new price for driving and shooting games going forward? Let me know what you think. Also, Canadian friends, let me know who's going to the Brick and picking up the NBA Jam Shaq Edition Shaq Jam pre-order. Pick it up, put your Pre-order down today, and you can have your cabinet. It looks like middle of July. And last but not least, again, awesome blowout sale going on at the Brick right now. Let me know if there's something there you're interested in, what you're going to pick up, or some people have already wrote me thanks to my video last week and told me the stuff they've already picked up thanks to the sale. I don't know. I'm really leaning towards the Pong Pub table. Well, we'll see what happens the rest of the day. Anyways, guys, thank you so very much for watching today. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. This is Michael B. the Game Genie, and I'll talk to you next time.